Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of The Spark Mental Performance Mastery. I'm Coach David. I hope you're doing great on today. I hope everything is moving in the right direction for you, that you are up and at it and getting after it and making your life everything that you desire it to be. Because after all, you are the architect of your life, which means you get to design, build, and live the life that you want. Now, on today, I'm going to kind of step off of the mental performance path for just a moment and everything. Something has come to me that I feel like that I need to share with you. And I want to share it in a sense of a way to encourage and to inspire you. You know, every person walks away from you with a story about you. Now, listen, you cannot control what people think about you. I got that. But the one thing that you can control is the experience that you leave a person with once they walk away from you. So today I want to talk to you about being unforgettable in the way that you treat people. I want you to strive for that every day, to be unforgettable in the way that you treat people. Make them remember you for the way that you treated them. And I will tell you right now, people do not forget how you consistently treated them over a time, how you consistently made them feel. And truthfully, this is what I've discovered. People are really looking for that in basically three areas. Number one, people want to be seen. They want to be seen by, they want to understand that you see that I am a person, I am a human being, and that I am somebody next that should be respected. So they want to be seen, they want to be respected. And then third of all, people want to be valued. They want their what they say to be valued. They want their life to be valued. They want to mean something to you. And truthfully, if you're going to become unforgettable in the way that you treat people, those are the things that you focus on. People don't care how much money you have until they determine how you're going to treat them. People don't care about all your assets, your houses, your cars, all those kind of things. What most people truly remember most about you is how you made them feel, how you treated them. So today I want to talk about that. And I want to help us build that up, because I believe if there's one thing that we need right now in our world, in our time, is how to treat people in such a way that they walk away from you and they're like, wow, that was an unforgettable experience. And that's what I'm striving for every day. I'm striving to make such an impact in people's lives, not by money, not by things, but by my actions of how I treated them, how I made them feel in the time that they were with me, in the time that they talked to me. And the truth of the matter is, if we all start focusing on this and working on this, our world as a whole will become a better place. So let's get into it. The number one thing that I think this lies on, if you want to call this is the foundation of this, is you have to treat every person like they matter. Because here's the truth of the matter. They truly do. Treat every person like they matter, because they truly do. Listen to this. Every person is fighting some battle, and you may never get to see that battle. Okay, you don't know what a person is going through. You don't know what a person is dealing with. You don't know what a person has been through, even in the morning prior to you meeting them in the morning on your job or walking down the street. You don't know their story. And because you don't know their story, the thing about it is, you don't understand why they may be the way they are. But the truth of the matter is, you got to ask yourself, am I hurting this person, or am I helping this person heal? And so if I'm going to become unforgettable in the way that I treat people, I am going to remember that. I am going to consider that. I don't know what your battle is. I don't know what the internal battle is. I don't know what's going on in your home. I don't know what you faced this morning coming in. But I do know this right here. I know that I can treat you in such a way that I become unforgettable in your life. And that's what I'm striving for. I want to make such an impact that, hey, that person feels like, hey, if David is not in my life, boy, there's a big chunk missing. I want to become that person. So how do I do that? How do I treat every person like they matter? Well, it's real simple. Number one, I see the person and I don't see their position. Now, watch what happens here a lot of times. A lot of times we look at some positions that people hold in life as less than. But hey, look, I want to treat the custodian just like I treat the CEO. Why? Because that person matters. That person is important. That person, is just as important as the CEO. Think if you didn't have a custodian at your school, at your job, and you just had to deal with all of that by yourself. That is one of the reasons why, look, you want to look and say, hey, I want to treat every person like they matter. Why? Because they do. They do matter. And because they do matter, I am going to treat them as such. I'm not going to look down on them because of their position. I'm not going to look down on them because of their socioeconomic status. What I am going to do, I am going to look at every person the same, and I want to be that person that heals them. I want to be that person that helps them. I do not want to be that person that hinders or hurts them. Well, I hear this a lot of times. Well, what about the rude people? Because sometimes people in those positions, they can be rude. You don't know their story. You listen, you know how to treat people in such a way that even in the midst of their rudeness, you become unforgettable in their life. You don't know. They may have lost a loved one that morning. Maybe they didn't have any food to eat this morning. They're going around hungry, and you're looking at it like, why are they so rude? They are hungry. Maybe they had an argument with their spouse. Maybe, things didn't kick off well at home. That's maybe why they're carrying the attitude that they have. But here's what I want to challenge you with. Listen, you got to leave people better than you find them. Did you hear what I said? Now, I oftentimes say that to people. I'd be like, hey, leave this room or leave this situation or thing, but you got to leave people better than you found them. You got to encourage them more than you criticize them. And I know a lot of times it's real easy to criticize something, but you got to encourage them more than you criticize them. You got to listen to them more than you interrupt them. I often use this when I'm teaching. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. What is that? So that we can listen twice as much as we talk. And when you begin to do that, you leave people in a better position. You become unforgettable because they remember the feeling that you left them with. I was valued by David. I was respected by David. David saw me as someone important. And David, because of that, he left me in a better position than he found me. Yeah, I was rude to David. Yeah, I acted kind of funny with David, but David didn't stoop to that level. What David did, David brought it up a notch, and he began to help me to understand that I'm important, I'm valued. Hey, I'm seen, I'm heard. Have you ever seen this before? This is one of the things that I see. Like sometimes when you're in traffic and people are trying to get in and people are just zooming by and won't let them in. Have you ever noticed that if you'll just pause for a minute and let that person in, have you ever seen this? They will pause and let somebody in front of them. What I'm sharing with you is the ripple effect that we are having on people. And when we treat people, no matter how they're treating us, when we treat them better, when we treat them better than we found them, we have a ripple effect. You got to listen to them. You got to appreciate them. What? You got to appreciate people more than you complain. You're in a restaurant and you're with a waiter, and there's many things that you can complain about. But what can you find to appreciate them for? Were they attentive to you? Even though they forgot the silverware, did they greet you when you walked in the door? This is treating people in such a way that you become unforgettable. Do you tip them? Do you tip them nicely? Well, you know what? They didn't bring me any water. Okay, that's all right. But do you still treat them? You don't know that customer right over there in that other booth, what they said to them or how they behave with them. You treat them better, you appreciate them more, and now you become the person that's unforgettable in their life. And I promise you, the next time you walk into that restaurant, that person is going to remember you. I've had that happen several times in my life. So, hey, listen, I'm going to treat every person like they matter. You know why? Because they do matter. Here's the next one. Your character is revealed when no one is watching. Now, it's very easy to do some things when people are watching, you're getting the accolades. People are like, oh, wow, and all that. But character is what you do repeatedly. Character is what you do when no one is watching, when no one can see it. That's what's important. That's when my true character is revealed. All of us want to put on a good show for the camera, but what about when the camera's turned off and I'm just there by myself? Character is what you repeatedly do. So you're going to have integrity over your image. What do you mean? You're going to keep your promises. If you promise, you're going to keep it. You're going to tell the truth, the whole truth. You're not going to slant it one way or another. You're going to do the right thing even when no one is looking or no one knows. Because here's the truth of the matter. It may come out, and I would much rather have my story says, you know what? Even when nobody was looking, David did the right thing. Even when nobody was looking, David behaved the right way. Why? Because he has a point of integrity over some image that he's trying to put out there. Listen, words are not what people hear. Let me say this again. So go slowly with me. Words are not what people hear. Your actions are what they hear and what they see. So long after you stop talking, people are watching what you do. And if you say, hey, I'm with you, I got your back, but when the chips are down and when it's tough and when it's hard, you don't have their back, people remember that. So it's not what I say, it's the actions. That's my reputation. Look, people are always talking about their reputation. Listen to me and listen closely to this. This is so important. What you do is far more of your reputation than what you say. Because listen, you can say a whole lot of things. My question to myself, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about, do I follow through on what I say? If I say I have your back and times get hard and times get rough and the chips are down, do I have your back? Your actions are what people see. Then that's what they're really hearing is your actions. Next, you got to respond instead of react. What? Yes, listen. In times of crisis, in times of heated situations, if you respond, that lends to emotion. A response comes out of a reaction comes out of your emotions. That's right. Because normally what we do, when something happens, we react to it. But here's what I want you to do. It's the emotional moments, okay, that last far longer than the ordinary ones. So when I have an emotional moment, I've got to respond. I cannot react. What are you talking about? Okay, let's say, for instance, I'm in a situation and somebody criticizes me. Somebody belittles me. Now, my emotion says, I'm coming back at you. I'm going to get you. But my response says this right here. So, whoop, hold on, David. Pause, breathe, now respond. I'm going to say that again. Pause, breathe, now respond. And when I respond, listen to me. When I respond with intention instead of my emotion. I'm intentional about my response. I'm not responding out of my emotion because sometimes my emotions can get the best of me. Sometimes my emotions can take me away from who I truly am. So what I want to do, I want to pause, I want to breathe, then I want to respond, and I want to respond with intention, not with my emotion. That leads me to my next thing. When I respond, okay, I want to respond with respect. Why? Because respect is my standard. Remember, I shared with you quite a few times. Have a standard and always meet your standard. Let's say, for instance, I disagree with you. I can disagree and still be respectful in my disagreement. Yes, I can. I can look at you and say, okay, we're disagreeing, but guess what? Even in the disagreement, I am going to be respectful in my disagreement. Maybe you didn't say thank you. Maybe I did something for you and you didn't say thank you. That's okay. I am still going to treat you with the respect. Why? Why did I do that? Because respect didn't cost me anything. It costs me nothing to be respectful. But I tell you what it does. Respect has a return on investment. What do you mean? Because people will far remember how respectful you were in comparison to you just acting any kind of way with them. So you want to make respect your standard. And so if you'll do that, if you'll have integrity over your image and you'll respond instead of reacting, and you'll make respect your standard, now you are building something and you are becoming that person that is unforgettable. You're actually becoming the person who people are grateful that they met. Man, I'm grateful that that person was in my life. Why? Because I know they're going to be consistent. Listen to this. You have to be consistent in your walk. You have to be consistent in your talk. You have to be consistent in your actions. In other words, you got to be the same way on your best day and on your worst day, because you're going to have some bad days. I'm telling you right now, if you haven't had any, just keep living. We all go through bad days. But listen, I want to be the same on my worst day as I am on my best day. That is the consistency. And people are like, you know what? He's going through something, but I'm telling you what, he ain't treating me no differently. He's still treating me with respect. He's still responding instead of reacting. He still has that integrity over his image. And that's a person that I want to lead me. That's a person I want to be with. That's the person that I enjoy. Why? Because what I am going to be known as, I'm going to be known as a person who builds people up and not break them down. I'm going to be known as a person who builds confidence and I don't destroy it. I'm going to be as a person who is known as a person who creates hope and not fear. Before speaking, I ask this question of myself: will my words bring strength or will my words weigh someone down? Because if my words are going to weigh you down, I'm not helping you. I'm not becoming that person that is unforgettable in the way I treat you. So what I want to do, I want to make sure that my words will lift you up, even in times of correction, even in times where you have to deal with corrections, you can still deal with it in such a way that it builds people up and it doesn't tear them down. That's how you become a person that is unforgettable in how you treat people. Now, I look at this and I says, okay, here's what I see from this. Every interaction has what I call, and it creates a ripple effect. Have you ever seen somebody take like a rock or a pebble, and they throw it in a body of water, and then these ripples are going away? And if you notice, they're small here, but they get bigger as they expand out away from where that rock went in. Well, I want to paint a picture for you as I begin to wrap this up. Your words are the pebbles. So you throw your words in there, and it begins to make a ripple effect. And I'm going to show it to you in a live picture. Let's say you get up tomorrow morning and you and your child has words and you say harsh things to your child or to your spouse or to your significant other. Well, you just threw pebbles in the water and the ripple is going out. Now you speak badly to your child. Your child takes that to school, speaks badly to the teacher. That doesn't just influence the teacher, that influences the class, that influences the school, that influences the community. And the community is part of the city, part of the state, part of the nation. And that's why we see that big ripple effect going out. When somebody does something or says something that has impact and it's not helping, it sends out a big ripple effect. So I'm seeking to be that unforgettable person in the way that I treat people. You know why I'm doing that? Number one, because it builds trust. I want to be a person that a person can look at me and say, hey, look, I know his character. I trust his character. This is what we can expect of him. That's what I want to be. I want to build that trust. Number two, I want to strengthen relationships. Listen, you are going to have relationships on this earth. You think you can do it all by yourself? You are sadly mistaken, and you will get wore out. So if I treat people in such a way that I'm unforgettable in their life, now what I'm beginning to do, I'm strengthening the relationship through my consistency. I'm strengthening the relationship through what I do. Then what I want to do, I also understand that when I do this, I create opportunities for myself, for others. Because watch this right here. If you become unforgettable in the way that you treat people, and there's an opportunity for somebody to recommend you, who you think they're going to recommend? The person that is unforgettable in the way they treated them, or the person who broke them down, who tore them down? Who you think they're going to recommend? I am creating opportunities. And then next, I want to become that influential person. What do you mean? People want people of character. And when they see that, you become influential. And when you become influential, now you become a leader, because all leadership is influence. And I share this a lot of times. You can be influencing people the wrong way, but you can definitely influence them to the right way. So let me ask you a question, and I'm going to close. Think about the people you interact with on a day-to-day basis. Are you unforgettable in their life? Are you unforgettable in the way that you treat them? Think about that. Every day I try to go through and say, okay, I talked to this person, I said this. Did I make an impact in such a way that I'm unforgettable in that person's life? Am I unforgettable in the way they treat? I say it like this: if I wasn't in their life, would their life be less because of me? Then if it is, then okay. If it is, that's great. But if it isn't, if it's like it wouldn't matter, I got some things I got to work on with me. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about me now. I have some things I have to work with me, because here's the truth: at the end of your life, when it's all said and done, people remember how you made them feel. They will remember how you treated them above all else. And that's what we're going for. We're going to become unforgettable in the way that we treat people. I hope this has helped you on today. I know it's off the path of mental performance, but I still think that it's just as big a part of mental performance as anything else, because people remember that. You've heard this before: more is caught than taught, and people see that in you. So I trust that you will take this on today, that you will share this with others, that you will say, hey, you know what, Coach David, you're right. And I gotta do some adjustments, but I'm gonna make the adjustment. And when I make the adjustments, things become better. Not just for me, but for everyone that I deal with, from everyone that I communicate with, because I am working to become unforgettable in the way that I treat people. Listen, I'm gonna get out of here on today. I've said enough for today. Thank you so much for being a part of this. And if you would do me a big favor and share this with someone, let them know. But most of all, what I want you to do is become unforgettable. Work on that. Become unforgettable in the way that you treat people. This is Coach David. I will see you the next time. Remember this right here: you are the architect of your life. I'm Coach David. I believe in you. Become unforgettable in the way you treat people. See you next week. Bye.